Hi.
Ah!
All right. So I've redone the rig over here.
I see that. You now
And-
have a bookcase behind you.
Yeah, so I can put a book. It looks more,
Elegant.
elegant. Certain amount of elegance to it. And Max is over here now, so you can see Max better.
There you go.
So. And
Oh,
David's
Oh.
here.
David
guys?
is in the house.
In the house.
I don't know about a house.
David's not in the house.
So I discovered something interesting about oil radiators.
They're full of oil.
Yes, they're also purposefully made faulty.
Yeah.
So they have a safety mechanism. So they're always advertised at 1500 watts. But they will rarely go to 1500 watts because the safety mechanism in there kills them to keep them at a lower wattage.
So that they won't kill you. Set fire to things.
Well, and they won't heat the way they should. They don't activate the second element, so rarely are you getting above the second level on them. They only heat the first level, and about halfway up, and then the safety mechanism kills them. Unless you put a fan in behind it, and you have a fan blow through the radiator, it'll actually keep the safety mechanism cool enough that it'll be able to warm up the area. And I'm noticing that my temperatures aren't dropping the way they normally have been.
Yeah. Hey, Britt, we haven't seen you since last year either.
Oh man, it's been a
long
while, buddy. You've been slacking.
So, yeah. So this is, just so that we're all aware, this is the New Year's episode.
Oh, damn.
So we're going to talk about our New Year's resolutions because this is the first one of the new year. Because the whole point was, like last week or something, Kayan and I were like, hey, let's go see what New Year's resolutions we set. And we went back and we looked around and we looked around and we looked around. And there's only 4 billion episodes that we've done since last year. So we couldn't figure out which episode it was. We talked about the New Year's resolutions. So we were like, okay, this year when we do this, we should A, make sure that it's the absolute first episode here. So all we have to do is go back to that first episode. And B, I'm going to change the background here. I'm going to rotate my camera 90 degrees so that there's a different background so that it'll be obvious when we look at it that it's not the last episode we did. So that's where we are.
Exciting.
So David's going to be up for this too because, like, he didn't know it, but he's stuck in this too. Sort of whether he knows it or not.
Exciting.
Whole lot of snow out there.
Don't worry, it'll come.
Yep. Your New Year's revolution is stop using autocorrect. I agree. So, first thing I'm going to do is switch to drawing monitor. Zoom in. So this is my new rig over here where I'm going the other direction now. It's fine, but now I got to take my glasses off so I can see my monitor from here. All right. Just for Brent. Because that's the way we roll. Okay, so we have evil music again.
I just clicked on the first one. We can change it.
No, I'm just noticing it's off.
How's this music evil?
Right? It just sounds evil.
How?
Because it was all off tune. All right. I'm going to go on ahead and write mine in because I've got them all right here. Okay. Oh, yeah. This way, when we look it up on the thing, it will be obvious what one we did. I'm going to make you a little side thing over there, just because. All right. So for 2023, I'm going to complete Airship 27 Silver Tentacle 2 and three, which I'm presuming I will end up with at some point here. So the next one then is also Fred's RPG book, which has been on the to-do list for a billion years and never gets done. Now, obviously, below that then, we have Momentary Ghosts, issue 2. And issue 3. And then if we can, I want to hopefully get over into episode 2. Right? And then the Omake. Which Cheese and Quackers. And then Jerry has joined us.
Oh,
All right. I'm also then wanting to do my Springs book. So those are my revolutions.
Yeah, you got a lot of resolutions.
Well, I mean, we have 365 days.
Hey, Max, how's it going?
So there is that.
That's what I'm saying. You only got 365 days.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Barely an inconvenience. So, there you go. I have made my New Year's revolutions.
All right.
Yeah. Pull that up there. So, Kayan, do you want to give this a shot so we can write it down so that it's in here for posterior?
Sure.
All right. What you got?
Finish 4 issues of Armageddon Divinity. That should finish off the book, hopefully.
Do you want to make sure that's in a book format too? because that would be a different problem child.
Well, right now I just want to get the issues done, and then we can fold it into a book.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is do you want that to be another thing you want to put on here, or just no?
Sure, put that on there.
Okay. All right.
Do Road to the Tower, book 1.
All right. Happy New Year, Jared. We're doing New Year's revolutions. You can blame Brent's autocorrect for that.
Let's see what else.
Which one's Road to the Tower? What's the one with the chicks with the wands?
That's Armageddon Divinity.
Okay.
Road to the Tower is my horror anthology that I've been working on and off again. I actually want to finish it.
Yeah, maybe make a book out of it. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. And collect all of the short stories into it. My underneath Road to the Tower, put 4 short stories for October. Because that's the other thing, is I keep failing on that one because I keep forgetting about it until about, September.
Right.
And I want to have them done and dusted probably in July, but right now just get them up on the list. Let's see, what else? I think that's a pretty good amount. Like, that's a lot of work right there.
Yeah, this is a big number of things. And then I think there's also a Kayan and Guy return to conventions.
Yeah.
And I think that we're going to do that together as a team this year so that it'll be a little easier on both of us financially and in physically, yeah. So we can, we can trade off or whatever.
I mean,
You've been doing fine.
Really, I was kind of beating myself up that I didn't finish up Armageddon this past year. But then when I looked at my final totals for how much work I did do, I'm like, no, that's fine.
Yeah. I don't think you need to worry. I'm pretty sure you're solid. I don't think you need to worry at all.
Well, it's like right now I'm doing a little 4-page short for a friend that I can't show on screen.
Yeah. Hey, Bob. All right. All right. David, you want to join in on this stuff?
Let's see. I have 2.
Okay.
The first one is Not Die.
Not
always handy.
Die.
Okay. Ready for the second one?
Yep.
Maybe do some drawing.
Do some drawing.
A shocker, right?
I know. That's a shocker. Good luck with the tangents, says Bob.
They know you too well.
Hey, you know what? Actually, I've got to admit, I feel like personally, I don't feel like I've gone on that many tangents that it has been disruptive. I mean, I'm always going to be on tangents because of who I am, but I feel like Brent's done a really good job of keeping me on task and stuff like that. So I feel like
I agree.
I don't feel like he's been doing like, oh man, Brent's been slacking because we didn't get anything done last year. I feel like I did a bang up job getting stuff done last year. You know? Yeah, succeeding at the first one does indeed improve our chances of you succeeding in the second one there. It's all good. It's all good. Okay. Bob, Jerry, you want to join in on New Year's revolutions? Doesn't have to be related to us. We can. So one of the things that we were saying, by the way, guys, is that we're hoping that what will occur is that at the end of this year, we'll find this episode because it should be relatively easy to find. It'll be the first episode of 2023. And then all of us can go back and revisit these and see how well we did. How did we hit these? What did we do? Kane and I wanted to do that because we knew we had done this at the beginning of this year or this past year. We couldn't figure out which episode it was. So we weren't about to go wading through 8 or 9 hours of video to figure out which one was which. Yeah, the timestamp will definitely help, but that's the problem was last year, I think we didn't think about it until we were about 4 days in. So you know how this goes. 4 days is still 6 to 8 of these episodes. Okay. Jerry, which is apparently Fairy. I don't know why I said Fairy. Jerry, you're now carrying cars across rivers. Jerry. Create content.
Max, that's what I'm hoping for.
For YouTube. Do some writing. Story writing or poetry. Wow. Godzilla.
Just a sneeze.
Right? Bob wants to start drawing again. Well, and here's the thing. I don't necessarily believe in the kick yourself in the butt whenever you don't manage to do your New Year's resolutions thing. But I do like the idea of, oh, that's right, I was supposed to do that one thing. I didn't do it last year. Well, maybe I'll make that this year's job. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like keeping it on the burner so that it's not forgotten. So that if you don't get to it, we'll bring it up again at the end of the year and you can go, that's right. David said he wasn't going to die. And here's David dead. So now we have to resurrect him so that he will not die because we have to carry that forward. See? It's very straightforward.
Those are not good. The resurrection fees, I imagine, are brutal.
It always requires diamonds. Stupid diamonds. This layout is going to have to be re-rigged somehow. Death takes many forms, says Bob sagely. All right.
Death is but a window.
To your soul. All right, we've done some good.
We should put on there some show goals.
Show goals. Hang on, I need to move this up. So we started quite at the top of the page here. We should have. Start at the top of the page because we're going to save this. So QuaCk goals, huh?
Yeah. We've been doing this for years now, and yet we don't have very much viewership.
Okay.
And I think both of us really need to work on QuaCk's social media presence. And we both need to start going, hey, look at us.
Okay.
And start advertising the fact that this show exists.
Fair. I think that one's also a good one. I'm almost tempted to say that we should maybe make because we can only have 2 admins, which means that either you or I have to be here all the time. Which is fine, but we need to have the ability to have someone else be able to start the show, like a guest start. So I think there are times when you and I aren't here.
And that's probably very true.
I mean, like the thing is that we've been doing really, really good with being consistent. But even with our consistency, we still have a number of people who do the, oh, when are you guys on again? When? Yeah, like they're always, so maybe.
And yet we're very consistent on our time.
I know. I mean, actually, I'm thinking about it, and I'm sure that I said that, and now I'm like, I'm not 100% sure that that's actually a concern. I feel like the times that you or I have not been here has been very rare.
Yeah, it's mostly the weekend stuff.
Yeah. I mean, generally speaking, you're here at night. Generally speaking, I'm here for both shows. Except whenever I've got a job, when I'm in the classroom. Agreed, Jerry. And it's probably, I don't know, maybe not. So if you guys are wondering, Restream allows 2 admins at this level of payment. And right now I am paying $20 a month for this Restream, which I'm willing to pay. That's not a problem. But yeah, we'd have to upgrade to $50 a month to get. We can't broadcast to Insta because Insta won't. Well, that's the thing. QuaCk Patreon, we've got both of us going in on Patreons right now. That's another thing. We should probably... Oh, the opening and closings need to be fixed.
And maybe do a new one for 2023.
Yeah, I was going to try to do that, but this weekend snuck up on me. One with a longer start lead.
Yeah.
Because our opening credits just start. They don't have any lead on them at all.
Actually, you know what would be nice is to have a countdown timer, like a 5-minute timer for the intro to kind of give people time to come in. And then at the 5-minute mark is when the show intro hits, the music intro where we're dancing and all that. And then the start. So we go live, and then we go live with the countdown, so it has time for people to go, hey, the show is starting, so they're not missing the opening.
Right. That makes sense. I like that.
Yo, how many admins do you get at the $50 tier?
What? I heard part of that.
How many admins do you get at the $50 tier?
That's a good question. I'll go look. The problem with my new setup is my keyboard's over here.
It's actually really interesting because of how 2020 fell. Everything that was pissing me off about 2022 with the way my art folder was, I'm not doing for 2023. Like this time I have everything very well organized. Like there are issues, I have the comics broken down how I want them. I actually have a reference folder, so I'm not sitting there going, where the fuck did I put that reference?
Right.
I have a commission folder that actually lists people's name, so I can see what commissions they bought at what point, and I'm trying to be very organized. Like my sketchbook is going to be organized by month.
Right. So, David, to answer your question, at $41 a month, we can have up to 4 people running the show. So right now we have 2. It's actually not. Yeah. So.
$41?
Yeah.
That's kind of lame.
Why?
It's that $1. It's like, really?
I think that's what the problem is. They're running a sale. It's 30% off or whatever. So.
Okay.
I mean, I'll put in some money for it. I won't be an admin.
You're just like, I'll just pay for it. That's fair. And I'm okay with that too. Well, we'd have to have somebody who's willing to, be on here by themselves, which I can totally see you not wanting to do that. And that is absolutely fair.
Yeah.
Who else joined?
No one joined.
You
Like
joined.
I said, I'll drop like $10 a month. I'll give you $10 a month to put towards this.
Oh, it's not a bad deal. I mean, like, we might be able to up it back up to 40. What you need to do, David, is just become a $10 patron on my Patreon. Because that's where that Patreon money's going right now.
Mm.
Let me just pick I want to do $10 a month and I don't really care for any of the benefits or whatever.
Of course I care for the benefits.
Well, yeah, I don't have a lot of benefits on my Patreon though. So
Just kidding. Calm down.
that's one of the things. That's one of my New Year's resolutions that we didn't actually put at the top. Is also better at Patreon.
Yeah, put that down for me as well.
Yep. Better at Patreon. I've always sort of said that I started doing Patreon when they were talking about it being a tip jar. And that was, sort of a, hey, throw a tip my way. That was cool. I got that. That made sense. And then Patreon sort of changed to, you give us money and we'll give you extra stuff on top of that. And by then I had already set up my Patreon. So I went back and tried to reconfigure it, and I tried to do something different.
Do you know who Jerry Snowbarger is?
Snowbarger?
Junior.
I know that
he's mutual friends with you and Colton.
Yeah, that's Jerry.
Okay.
That's our Jerry.
He requested for Quasar, so I'm gonna approve it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's our Jerry. That's totally legit. I was about to say I like Jerry Snowbarger. That's good.
Yeah, well, he asked to be a part of this, and I was going to approve him if he knew who he was, because I didn't know who he was.
I don't remember him being Snowbarger, but okay.
Well, I could be mispronouncing his name, too.
That's too. Well, no, Jerry and I are having a field day on the Snowbarger, that's all. We're just loving it. We think it's great, that's all. We're fine.
Okay.
Nobody's offended. We are entertained. No one's offended. We're just entertained at this point.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
good. I think I'm gonna go with Snowbarger from now on. So, okay, better at Patreon. In fact, better, right? Snowbarger. I think I'm going to say better at all social media in general. And weekly springs. And at least 50 strips. I think that's a fair. Bob's like, with the real Jerry Snowbarger, please stand up. I feel like that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because that gives me 3 weeks that we can blip out or whatever. And legitimately, that can give us about 5 weeks because, we get to the end of the year, we've got 48 strips. We're like, oh, come on. I can just do 2 extra strips this week or whatever, and bring it up to speed. So maybe we will up to the professional level. Then if David's going to throw $10 in for us to move up for an admin, we will need somebody else who would be willing to take over the show and run the show if you and I can't make it. So we'll need to figure out who that person is. Preferably another artist who will run the show and get in here and draw.
Yeah.
So Fred, my buddy Fred wanted me to do an RPG for him, the artwork for an RPG book. He already has all of them set up and everything like that, and it fell off my plate somewhere along the line, and he has been remarkably patient, but they've already paid for it. And so I need to finish it because the biggest problem is all that's left are the huge plates, these massive one-page pictures, and they're huge, and they need to be done. And
So I go in the green level.
Yeah, you can just do green level. That seems fine. And then I will throw that money towards the bumping up to the next level up.
Okay, it's done.
Thank you, sir. Kickstarter or similar. I mean, like, for what? What are we kickstartering?
Maybe to get the money up to do the books. Because let's face it, if you and I start having comics ready, you could go to Kickstarter and try getting the money up to do a large order of books. Same with me.
Couldn't you just do them in the other way around?
What do you mean?
Like, hey guys, if you want a copy, it's going to cost like, I don't know, $20 or $30, but everybody who wants to do it, place your orders, and then we'll print them.
Well, that's what Kickstarter is, essentially.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But I mean, why can't we just do it instead of and cut out the middleman? Yeah, you know what? I'm actually not opposed or against it in any way. I don't even know why I'm making an argument here. We can definitely discuss it because, I don't have any problem with that. We can discuss that. It's just not one of my top 10 projects at the moment, but that doesn't mean it won't be. Yeah, Ben Dunn's been watching Kickstarters all the time. Right. I mean, I'm like I said, I don't even know why I don't mean to sound like I'm arguing against this at all. I'm not. I think it's totally fine. We can discuss it. Isn't even really particularly. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that. Just have no real concept. Sure.
Well, traditionally, kickstarting is meant to that you want to do a project,
Right?
and it's to gauge interest in your project.
Plausibly, I just don't understand the process.
And again, that falls into the social media stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm drawing a Bugs Bunny that looks like he is the hardest smoker ever.
Mm-hmm. 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 All right. I feel like putting my camera that high up is not so good. I'll have to remount it. I could, in fact, create Unity or coming up badges for cosplay purposes. I know a lot of people who use nicknames there. What are you doing down there? I think we should move back to this. Now you have things going on over there.
If I decide to do the whole 20, so 2 months, I mean, I guess 1 month, but to help you get to the four people, do I just join Green Tier twice or?
No,
or
no,
oh,
no.
I
If
guess
you
I
want
can
to
do
do
the custom,
$20 a month, then what you can do is just go in and say, I think you can just say, I want to make a pledge, and my pledge is $20. You know,
Yeah, okay.
just pledging it.
Yeah, custom pledge.
Yeah, custom pledge. The only problem is I messed up my. My spot for George. Yeah,
Oh no, George!
No, right? You can't. Yeah, because all the pictures are broken. I need to replace these pictures anyway. I mean, because you can join. You should be able to join in a custom pledge. Make sure you can. There you go. I should be able to. Oh, yeah, I can be custom brand color now. That's useful.
Do you guys know of another admin that would be interested?
No, we'll have to figure it out.
Mm.
Wow, there's a lot of changes since the last time I've been here. Latrix. Who gets that?
See, my issue is that I get off at like 10 o'clock p.m.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I'm not worried about you doing this. I mean, my whole thought here is that, well, I'm doing two things. I'm not worried about you, David. I mean, really, honestly, you don't have the setup right now anyway. If you started the show without us, it'd just be your disembodied voice.
No, I can draw.
Can you broadcast when you draw?
I broadcast for you the last couple times I drew.
Okay. Just making sure.
You don't remember?
Wasn't necessarily what I was saying. I mean, you're a disembodied voice right now.
I know, I don't have the iPad out.
That's fine. What's going on? Custom sticker? I'm trying to get the Oh, hey Jerry, thank you. And Jerry's like, I'm helping. I'm doing this too. We're all getting in here. I'm still trying to figure out how to get edit tiers, that's right. Tier. Add a tier. Discord. Oh. Huh. This tier. Folks,
Is it enough to throw us into the next tier?
Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm making another tier. There you go. All right. I have made this difficult to do stuff like this. All right. I will come back and fix some of these in a minute, but for right now, we'll add this tier. Error in the tier. Add a benefit. I don't know.
You know, I think maybe Bob just got a new computer. Maybe he can do it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking was, maybe Colton, maybe Bob. I don't know. Probably not Colton and Bob. All right. There, I added a $20 a month if you wanted to go up there for that one. David, just switch to $20 a month if you need to. If that's what you want to do, you don't have to. I feel like now I'm just like begging you to join. It's ridiculous, but all right. Thank you, Jerry.
Is it enough?
Yeah, that should be enough for us to up the plan.
Oh, snaps.
We'll up the plan. That'll give us actually a lot more things. This will give us some other things we need to do too. Because we'll get 8 channels out of it now. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can't do something about that while in stream, which probably can't. Because I feel I'll trash the stream if I try to upgrade it now. This is dead stream. Yeah. Upgrade now.
Ooh, I wonder if I could add my YouTube to the live stream. How do you add? How are you doing?
Well, I'm right now working on upgrading the plan because, like, if we do this, then you can add your YouTube to it because we'll have up to 8 channels capable. Okay, so upload and stream videos up to 1 hour, 2 GB per files. So we could upload an emergency stream too with this upgrade. So that's the other option. Upgrade. Okay, I'm upgrading now. Let's see if it kills our stream. We did this midstream. We're trying to change course midstream. Look out for us.
Oh God!
Hey, look, we went back up to pro without it even. Did it just snow on us?
Yo, it's snowing?
Oh, I don't know. When I did that, it did the little like confetti thing, and I didn't know whether you saw that. So, okay, we've upgraded now to Pro, which means now we have the ability to add more destinations.
Okay, we'll deal with that after the stream or, in between.
Yeah, Bob, if you got a migraine coming on, then yeah, bail. Bail, my friend, bail.
Apparently it's snowing in Brighton.
Here's something that's very interesting. So I have this new heater set up. Normally here in the front, by this time of night, it's at low 60s, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's been sitting solidly at 70 degrees. It's been really
Really?
nice in here.
Because that fan.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of your fan.
I am too.
Yeah, Jerry, I'm over in Arvada, and it's still not quite precipitating yet. Participating.
Yeah, so one of my Christmas gifts this year is I got a brand new phone. I think I'm going to start doing more YouTube shorts with it as well.
That's fair.
And trying to, have more content going this year. Because I'm doing a ton of content.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to actually throw it out that I'm doing more content.
All right, I have saved our New Year's resolutions.
All right, I'll be right back.
David has upped the setup so that we've upped our setup now to the standard as opposed to basic. No, to professional. Why are we not here? We're at professional, not standard. Because we're at pro. Which means now we can run our own videos if we want to again. So, not just our opening and ending credits, but we can now set a show to run by itself. So that's also an alternative, is you and I could potentially do little shows that are 1 hour, like get together in the next month or two or whatever, Brian, and then just figure it out and then film it. Maybe some live draws. Maybe that's an idea that we should do, is maybe you and I should get together and film some live draws and save them. And then whenever we're not going to show up, whenever neither you nor I can be here, we can run a live draw.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good idea.
Yeah, because then I've got this device called Olivia. I think I've talked about it before, where it's a weighted base. Actually, I can just show it. Right over here. George was knocked over. Which George did not stand. The trash can is staying not knocked over. Then how can you tell what's in the trash can? But this thing is actually pretty cool. And I will move it over here. And then I gotta switch back to the thing. There we go. So I've got this thing called an Olivia, and it's essentially what it is it's a device that you put the phone on right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a clip for the phone, and you can just point it any direction you want, and it holds your phone right up here. This little spring-loaded thing.
Yeah,
and then you can.
Those are like an eighth of an inch too small for the phone in this holder.
You have one of these?
Not the Olivia. I have similar ones to it. One actually is giving me extra light.
Right, that makes sense. But mine holds just fine. So, but yeah, I mean, the idea is that we can definitely, and this also, it does a 90-degree pivot.
But the other thing too is under, where's it at? Under time lapse for Clip Studio, you can record a time lapse.
Yep.
So that's something else that we should start looking at doing as well. And voiceovering time lapse.
Yep, that's definitely an option.
So, for your 2022, Cat had posted this to Twitter. So I'm curious, what was your favorite page or panel this year?
That's a good question.
And I will show off my favorite page. It's an absolute favorite for this year.
So, Bob, I am, just as a side note, I am somewhat loath to make any promises at NDK because as a director, I am perpetually busy through all of the weekend. I have spent many a year trying to get to play for 1 hour of tiny spaceships with Jackie. That's like been my thing. Because Jackie's been there every year with her tiny spaceships. And I've been there with my tiny spaceships and then been busy the entire weekend and have not been able to even sit down for a minute. So that's why I tend to not do anything at NDK, is because I know that I'll sit there and say, I promise that I do this. And then it's like, man, you weren't ever there. And people are always so mad. And I'm like, oh.
So this is my favorite page spread for 2022. Was finishing that old record. Like, this one is, I love it. It was the first time that I had a concept in my head that translated correctly onto the page, and I absolutely love it.
There. I think if I were to say what my favorite one is, it would have to be this one.
Let's get that up on the big screen. Oh yeah, that's a good one for you.
That one. I feel like that's just, it's got a solid, it's a good piece.
No, that's a fantastic piece.
I feel like both of those were. If you were to ask me my favorite panel, yeah, that's probably it. So, yeah, these are good pieces.
Uh-oh. Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got his camera going. The man, the myth, the legend.
I don't know about a legend, but definitely a myth.
The actual David actual. Do you have a contribution to favorite panel for this that's safe for work?
What?
A favorite page or drawing that you did for this past year?
Oh. No, it's NSFW.
Yeah. I was gonna say, is it safe for us? So now my new camera setup, I am now right on my window here. So I can totally look out here and go, wow, looking out the window. Tomorrow it should be interesting to see how bright it is through here.
In fact, I do exist, yes. It's not just an amorphous voice that quietly hovers in the background on occasion.
Right?
I am eating though. I hope no one minds.
No, not at all.
No, I don't mind. I am.
Since it's New Year's, Mom's made mandu soup, which is traditional apparently for New Year's.
Yeah, I was gonna try to do up a big bowl of black-eyed pea soup, but didn't get a chance to this year.
Mm.
A lot of black-eyed peas are cool.
Have a good night, Bob. Hope it gets better.
Good night, Bob. Here. Feel better, man.
Yeah. Get to sleep. Hopefully you're better in the morning.
And it's time for me to wrap up the camera for tomorrow. Because I feel like odds are good that this storm is not going to be that big of a deal.
It's
Looking right
going to.
now?
The problem with this storm is it's a two-pronged push.
I was gonna say it's a two-parter.
Yeah, and the first part they're predicting freezing rain,
Which is happening right now.
which is the part that's bad.
Right. Well, the hope is one of two things will occur. Either it won't be bad, or that that Nate will decide it's just not worth it.
Well, I mean, the weather's been getting progressively worse for the past 5 years, so what do you think's gonna happen, guy?
The biggest problem I've got is that Nate said he didn't have any other openings this week to do replacement on this. So he doesn't have he can't put it off to Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay, now I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. So the biggest problem we've got is that Nate doesn't have any openings after this week or after tomorrow for this shoot. I'm shooting a house, so if I've got to go, but it's in Parker. It's in frickin' Parker. And so, I said, hey, a storm's rolling in, and he said, well, I hope it's not a bad storm because we don't have any alternative times to shoot this house. And so I said, okay, well, guess we'll play it by ear and do our best. And, and so I'm hoping for one of two outcomes here. Either outcome one, it's not so bad, or outcome two, it's bad enough that he decides he'll rearrange something else throughout the week to make this work,
Makes sense to me.
Well, on my phone it says winter storm warning, so.
Yeah, the concern I've got is that outcome 2 is not likely to happen. All right. That's my biggest concern, is that outcome 2 isn't likely to happen. And that he's just going to say, well, I just really don't have the ability to set up a different time, so I'll see you in a few minutes, you know. And I'll have to trudge my way across town in snow and ice.
Damn.
The problem is, I'm like sitting there going, well, you know, we're going to have to, I don't know, I'm probably going to have a heart-to-heart talk with him tomorrow morning and say, okay, let's talk about this, because, you know,
like I said, the weather's only getting worse. Past couple years, it's also been the warmest weather we've had in a while. So, what was it yesterday? I think my car told me it was 61 degrees. Not yesterday, the day before.
Yep.
That's kind of suspicious.
Well, and Jerry's right. It's a super bipolar storm. That's what I'm saying. I hope for outcome 1, either it was just a whiff and not a lot happened. Outcome 2, he decides to bow out for tomorrow because it's just way too messy. You'll know which way it goes, because I'll be here either way for just a minute at 9 o'clock before. Well, probably won't be here at 9 o'clock. So if I'm not here tomorrow morning for show, then I went on ahead and we got onto the roads for whatever reason. Because the thing is, I dig that part. I love the shoot. I love going out on the shoot. That's a lot of fun. I don't have any problem with that part. So, you know, I'm not dreading the shoot or anything like that. It's gonna be a fun shoot. It'll be fine. My big concern is I'm worried that we'll end up with some kind of, you know, horror storm, and he'll be like, yeah, it's not that bad. It's only 3 feet of snow. You can get here. You know.
And a layer of ice.
Right? But I mean, the last storm that came through put a wall of snow in front of my driveway that was almost too much for either one of my cars to clear. It wasn't a problem with them driving through it. But it was they were high centering on the ice and snow in the road.
And the problem with the last storm was they were saying, oh, this is a nothing storm. Even the night of, they're on this nothing storm, maybe 1 to 3 inches, but we're not expecting anything. And then the next day it's like, so what happened, Bob? Well, weather is tough to predict.
Right.
It's like, gee, thank you.
I have to call in Friday.
Well, Jerry, that's actually the whole problem I've got too, because you're right. I can drive just fine. And if it was just me and there wasn't another soul on the road, I wouldn't have a single problem. It'd be slow going and I'd get there. But Jerry's right. Yeah. I know I can drive just fine. I'm a driving instructor. It's the other guys that I got a problem with.
And like, you know, if the conditions are bad, we're set up here that I could just hunker down for the day without an issue.
Yeah.
You know, I feel confident in that.
I want to miss the day.
Anyway, I will set up as if I am going tomorrow, and then we will see. We'll see how things roll out tomorrow, and
I think
I'm a driving artist.
I think the other thing this year, and put this down on my list for resolutions this year.
All right, switching. Hang on, let me switch controls here. All right.
Take more breaks.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you do produce artwork at a blistering pace.
Well, did you hear my final tallies for this past year?
No, I had to go upstairs for a moment to go get food.
I did over 920 pieces of artwork last year.
Holy shit. You average 4 a day?
2.5 a day.
2.5 a day? Damn.
Yeah.
I was close. No, math's not so good.
Yeah, you need to not burn yourself out.
Yeah.
The only concern that I have is that you do have it's up and then down and then up and then down. You run at this high level, that all of a sudden flop, you're just out for like a week or two.
Well, to be fair, and my mental health is shot, dude. I work at TSA.
Yeah. Well, and my mental health has been shot this past year as well because of what's happened in my personal life. But this next year, so anybody who's from Colorado can get a parks pass for $29 for the year. So you can go to any of the national parks in Colorado for $29.
I agree.
And I am going to take advantage of that this year.
I think that's a great idea, and I think I will do that as well. We will get a parks pass as well, because I think that's a brilliant move. And
parks pass,
honestly, legitimately, the parks pass is $30.
Yeah, it's $29, and it's included in when you go to register your vehicle with the DMV. You can opt out of it, but if you keep it on, it's included in the price of your registration. You register and you get a parks pass, and you can go to any park in Colorado for free.
Does that just mean that as long as you have Colorado plates, you can just drive into a park?
You have to show them your registration at the park, your vehicle registration. It'll have a special sticker on it to say, "Hey, you've paid for the parks pass thing." But then you can drive right in.
Meeting thing?
Huh?
I think it's Jerry Max over there. He might have to join.
What is what's he like? What?
On the parks pass thing. We should make this like a QuaCk walkathon or some nonsense like that.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm gonna do like a mobile studio thing with my vehicle. So I might be at a lake, doing more camping this year and seeing more places, and I might just do some art just right there on the road.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you and I can take we've got portable art things. Both of us have portable art things. Like my Surface works just fine.
Yeah. But like you were talking earlier, how you have that thing for holding your mobile phone.
Yeah.
I have.
Oh, he knocked out his microphone doing that. You knocked out your microphone doing that. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. So,
All right, I'll be right back. I gotta take stuff upstairs.
Okay.
so
Yeah,
I have
I see what you're doing there.
So this actually bends into different directions, and I can do that, and it has a lighting stand to it.
That's actually
So,
this rig that I've got over on the other side over here for my my drawing station.
so it's all bendy, and it can clip to things, and it just requires a USB. So I can also do just, take out the big board. You've seen my gigantic art board I have, and draw on the go.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing about Restream is you and I could do this on a Saturday or a Sunday. Get together during the day at a Starbucks or something, and we can go to Restream, both you and me, at the same table.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Without broadcasting, and then just save it, and then it'd have our opening credits, it'd have our closing credits, it'd look all the same, everything would be the same. We just hit record instead of stream.
Works for me.
Yeah, and then it would be recorded for all time. We could then use it, and then at any time grab it for for whatever purpose, grab it for shows that would be useful for whenever you and I just like, what, we're out.
Yeah.
Like we're done.
Okay, I'm back.
But definitely trying to get in and take real breaks, not burnout breaks, but just
breaks before breaks.
Take it more easy on my body this year.
Yeah. More reasonable. No burnout. And pre-record episodes so we can take time off.
But like, I was watching a YouTube guy. He lives in Alberta, Canada. He goes, I've lived here my entire life, and I've never actually seen any of the places here. I've lived in Calgary, and I've done nothing, and I've seen nothing here. He goes, I need to change that.
Yeah.
And I got thinking about it. It's like, I'm in a similar situation in Colorado. It's like, I have lived here almost my entire life. I have seen more of the country than most people, but I have not seen anywhere further than a few places in Colorado.
Right.
Like, I've seen Estes Park. I've seen Denver. Most of the places I've hang out is the Denver metro area and the I-25 corridor. But once you get past that, I've been to the Silver Creek rail line, I think that is, or the Silverthorne. What's the rail line up in the mountains?
Yeah, I think it's Silverthorne.
I've been up there a couple of times, and I've been to one casino town, but I haven't seen, like, I've been to none of the hot springs that are here.
Right.
I haven't been to Blackhawk. I haven't been, I've seen Rocky Mountain National Park, but that's it.
Right.
Like, I haven't seen Dinosaur National Park. I haven't seen the Great Sand Dunes. I haven't really explored Colorado.
Right. And this is such a pretty state. I was lucky because my mom was a transplant. And so she was all about well, guys, we're getting in the car, we're packing everything up. We're going to some random location in Colorado, because she was like, this is the best state that has ever stated, but of course, like you, I grew up here. So once I moved out of mom's house, it was the same thing. It was like, whatever. And now I'm doing the same thing going, wait a minute. This is a big, beautiful state. There is so much cool stuff out here. I mean, like even things you don't think about. There is a place that's out in the plains, south of here and east of here, that's just all of a sudden like this bizarre little, like 7-foot high, 7-foot deep canyon. But the canyon area looks like something straight out of some alien movie. It's got the little pole post things. It looks like something, southwestern sort of thing, but it's in the middle of nowhere, and it's this little park. And it's just
there's the great grasslands.
Yeah,
I haven't been out there.
Yeah, I mean that's that one. I've thought about this before. I've thought about just going out there to shoot pictures or take pictures of a cosplayer or something because it looks so pretty and it's so weird. And I can't think of it, but I mean, it's like, like I said, it's this little indention about 7 feet deep into the ground where the grasslands around it just opens up to this 7-foot deep canyon of weird rock and strange whatevers. And it's something to the effect of like the ground is very acidic or something like that, so nothing grows in this little arroyo. And so it's like really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Just a high pH balance of the stuff in there, or whatever.
But it's I think that could be a great, because we could, who knows, to this place.
Wow, you're breaking up, dude. We're losing you there.
What I was saying was we could go to these like parks.
Yeah.
Am I still breaking up?
We got you back from there. I think we're doing better.
Okay. We could go to these parks and suddenly it would be, I need to take reference pictures because I want to put this into my comic.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm looking at the map here. See if I can find that weird little park. It's so cool. There is Castlewood Canyon. That one's bizarre too. A little like cute little park up there. It's not the one I think. I'll figure it out. It's just this cool little arroyo out in the middle of nowhere. Like it's out near Kiowa. But it's it's that kind of like area where it's like you see air parks. That's how I'm looking for. Thank you. There it is. Paint Minds Interpreted. Here, I'll show you. Again. You see what I'm talking about here. Right? Like, look at that. Isn't that wild?
That is awesome.
Right? Like, this is what this entire, and it's just this like bizarrely, it's this little arroyo. It looks like this. It's not like, it's just this strange little arroyo out here, but they all look like this formation like this. These formations are insane.
Yeah, definitely. We need to check that out.
Like, I just think this is so cool. Dude. And it's out here. So I mean, we'd have to go. It's effectively, we'd have to go pretty much out to Colorado Springs and then out 24 to it.
There's also Garden of the Gods.
Garden of the Gods is also really good. If we're going to go down to Colorado Springs, Garden of the Gods is great too, but everybody knows about Garden of the Gods. So there's like 40,000 people there, So just something I just was observing. I was like, huh. So yeah, I'm into that plan. And by the way, this is not me inviting myself along on your trip. I'm just saying that's something we probably do.
I think 20. No, not at all. But it's definitely something that I've been thinking about heavily this past year. Was I need to start taking real breaks, and I need to start getting away from the stresses in my life and unwinding.
Yeah, I agree.
And if one of them is, I go down on a Friday night to some campground and I camp for the weekend, and that's how I get away from it, that's time well spent then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll agree with that.
It was Polis. Polis had actually, he did a tweet talking about that. He goes, hey, Colorado residents, it's $20. Say what? Tell me.
Right? I think it's a great idea. I'm trying to adjust the camera. There we go. That's probably better. That way when I'm here, it's probably not so bad. I don't quite have the distance I had when it was aimed that way, but it's still good enough. And then over the next couple of next week, I'm going to clean the rest of this around this edge here too, so that we get more rigs properly done. I'm I'm also going to set up my monitors here because right now we're on an arm. But I think what I want is a wall of monitors. So monitor 1 and 2 are like this, so that they're stacked with the camera in the middle. I'm thinking I'm doing, because right now the camera is on the edge of this table, and it's the edge is enough to support, but it's not quite enough to hold my weight. So I've got these metal rails like this, which I'm going to put underneath here, which will bolt into the wood frame that we built. But that's got to be done. That'll be done this next week too. So we'll get all that done. But yeah, the battle plan is to, before the end of this week, be set up right here so that for there's a couple of reasons. One, people keep sneaking up on me when I was standing there, and I really don't like to be startled. It's an uncomfortable thing. So this new setup prevents them from coming in here. But two, it puts the bookcase behind me, which I think is a much better and attractive.
I like it for a backdrop. It looks nicer.
It's a much more attractive thing, I think, too. So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to have to put a piece of wood here with the mounts, the wall mounts for these monitors, so that they'll just mount right here and here, and then I can put the camera probably right here is better, because I think right here it's too high. It needs to be a little bit more in the middle, looking this way. And so what I'll just have is I'll have a divider line here, and then probably what will really happen is the work area that's over there will move over to here, and I'll be able to do the work area here, which is really what needs to happen. That way I can pivot one monitor over and work at the work area there for drawing and things like that, and people will, and I can still read what's going on that during the show.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Requires a little bit of construction. Not a big deal. I need to get Kevin over here, my buddy Kevin, with his saw. And he's got a little circular saw, and just having, a couple of things, because the wood's out in the garage, so I can just go get it at any time. I just, we need to cut pieces of wood because it's these huge, 4x8s out in the garage, which is great, but I don't need 8 feet of this. I just need, 4 feet of it or whatever.
Yeah.
I think what I will do is design that in the next, because we've got 20 minutes left of the show. So I'll just go ahead and design it now. Design the idea, measure stuff, things like that. So right now I only have one working monitor right here, and I'm flip-flopping back and forth. It's funny, Ken, you switched your light around, and the light looks a little different. Not a lot, just a little. And so it's messing with my world a little bit. No design for
it's
you.
more pointed.
Being a pest.
See if I can get it back. It's because I messed with it to show you the thing that I had, and it's actually messing with me because it's like, oh my god!
Right.
How do TikTokers deal with this?
Great. Like, that layout is not so bad. I feel like I need to determine how closely I got my glasses.
But I feel like we have a solid plan this year. And I feel like, we have a lot of things. I don't feel like we could fail. I actually feel like we'll be more successful even if we don't hit all of the marks on the target.
Right. I feel like a lot of the things can be pretty decent on this one. Yeah. Let's see. What's the most? I think I don't want to be any freaking 25 inches from water. What's this whole setup rig? Yeah. Let me get there. Move back to here. It's not. Yeah. Have the burper out there. Hi, burper.
Hi, Pepper. How's it going?
Burpee. This thing is. Fussy, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I've been down that road. Been down that road. Okay. All is doing well. We've been doing New Year's resolutions, but I've gone into this project, so there's that. We know pretty much what your New Year's resolution is, so that's all right. We got that under control. This is 19 and a half post. Yes. Happy New Year to you too. So I think maybe 19 and a half wouldn't be bad to put the other side on like this as the wall of monitors. Right, so we'll do this. And that's not really what we want to do, but
Happy New Year's to you as well. You know, I personally hate the New Year, New Me thing that a lot of people try to do at New Year's, because they never change and they never enact what they said they were going to. But definitely putting up goals and not even making them, hey, I'm going to punish myself if I don't do this.
Yeah, that's not a plan.
I think that'll make you more successful.
Agreed. I agree. I think the biggest thing that we can do for ourselves here is just, be more forgiving.
Yeah.
For many, I mean, it's one of those things. Besides, I think really what you and I are doing has nothing to do with punishment or anything like that. It has everything to do with the idea and the concept of just being more cognizant of the things we want to do this next year. Just doing like we're talking about social media, hit the tables, be at the conventions more and stuff like that.
And being kinder to ourselves.
Yeah, and being a little kinder to ourselves can be nice. It goes a long way.
Yeah.
So, Pepper, one of the things we were talking about for this next year was we're going to try to work social media before. Yeah, we were going to do that, but then we skipped it. The problem is that, the chrysalis stage is so difficult to get out of, just so warm, inviting, that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. So, but Pepper, one of the things we were talking about is we just upgraded this now because David is going to donate money, and Jerry just donated money so that we can upgrade to the pro version, which means that 4 of us can now be in charge of starting and ending the show if we want, which probably isn't you this year, but at some point it could be you and someone else if you wanted, who can then run the shows, start and stop it and stuff like that. So that the idea is that Can and I can take more breaks and the show can continue going on, because of course the whole point behind the show is that you want to be able to be super consistent. You don't want to make it so that we have these show doesn't happen. The other thing is Can and I are going to meet every so often, probably up in your neck of the woods, and pre-record 1-hour shows.
Yeah.
So that we will have a small little bank of shows that we can get into whenever we're like, yep, neither one of us are going to make it tonight. So we just auto run this show at 10 o'clock and it will go.
That's an idea.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I like that.
And then the other thing that we were talking about is starting this year, when you upgrade, when you go to register your vehicle, as part of your DMV sticker cost, you can opt into getting a $29 parks pass for the year. Mm-hmm. And it's good for any of the parks in Colorado. And I'm sitting here going, we should take advantage of that.
Yeah. But moreover, Pepper, if you can get a break for about an hour or so, or 2 hours, and meet us, you can be part of this bank of of shows that we just got hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Same with you, David.
You too.
If you suddenly have a time in which you're like, I want to, here we are, we're going to do a get together. Let's record a show. Definitely.
Yeah.
That I'm very interested in.
Yeah, because then we can just go to a spot somewhere and do this. Actually, one of the things that somebody had mentioned to me was you can rent a room at the library. And we could just go to the library and record the show. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
get on the library's Wi-Fi and just record the show. You know?
So now that's a good idea.
And the rooms would be quiet, and we would be able to do that, and it'd be fine. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Pepper, if we planned ahead, if we did like a Saturday get together, like for example, we've got the Fort Collins thing coming up next weekend, right? So, in theory, I'm going to already be heading up into your part of the woods unless it gets ugly. Unless the weather gets nasty. I'll be heading up your way anyway. I would love to drop in and at least see Nori, but you may be still on quarantine, which is fine. Because parents do that. That is a normal thing for parents to do. But yeah, I mean, like next Saturday looks sunny and, pretty warm. So I'm probably going to be heading up there anyway.
What's going on next Saturday?
I go up to meet with Ron Fortier and Ron's club up there. Yep, I did ask you to go, but we'll see. I mean, that all depends on whether but that was before we knew you were going to be doing what you're doing and being on Daddy Patrol. So if you are not on Daddy Patrol, then I can haul you up, and then you and I can go to Ron's thing, and if so, the two of us could come back and meet with Can and record for an hour.
Yeah.
On Saturday. And then that way, or maybe 2 hours and get 2 shows in the bank, lock them away. And that
I
way,
am also free Saturday.
Yeah. And we could all meet at, a library in Longmont or a library, and see if they've got. Yeah, I want to see Nori too. Some parents go on to quarantine where they don't want anybody interacting with the child for the first few weeks just to make sure that the kid's got, all the immunities all leveled out and things like that. So if you're on quarantine, I totally understand. It is a perfectly normal thing and there's no problem with that. So I got no issue. If not, on the other hand, I would love to see Nori. So. Cause baby. It's a baby thing. Not everybody is into kids, but that's cool. I'm vaccinated. I'm even boosted. The only thing we do have to worry about, though, is it's about time for me to figure out what we're doing about the shingles vaccine. So if Nori gets chicken pox, I gotta stay clear because we aren't sure where we are on that stage. So, yep. Yeah, I mean, I think also as Nori gets older, it'll be a lot easier for you to, take daddy time and drop Nori off with one of us, and we'll sit around and just draw with her. Well, time to get the pens and paper out. It's like, we got this. At the moment, you're like going to be all into this idea of, being with her all the time. But there will come a time you'd be like, here.
I need a break.
Yep, I'm over it. Extension with the monitor. Oh man, that was my favorite thing, the daddy sling. Oh my god, that was so cool. I just locked my kiddo up right in the front there. I was happy. Yep. Pawn off the child. I'm all about that. All about pawn off the child. No issues there. All right, guys. We're at the midnights.
Yo, if we're gonna do a pre-record show on Saturday, let me know.
Yeah.
And
like
what I can do to help, I'd definitely like to be a part of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking. Is Saturday. Or if you're available, we can all see what we can do about finding a library spot or something near Firestone, Longmont, that kind of area, halfway back.
I mean, Westminster Park has a big library.
Yeah, I mean, up here at Stanley Lake, they've got rooms and everything, and I actually know one of the librarians. It's the wife of a buddy of mine. So, like, I could talk to her and say, hey, you got any open time? But that would require then Ken and everybody to come down here. And I don't know if that's part of the convenience of this is that I happen to be going to Fort Collins on Saturday. So, part of it is that I'm already past these guys, turning around and coming all the way back. I'm already coming all the way back, but I could stop on the way back at Firestone or Longmont because I'm passing them anyway. It's like, might as well. I'm going to be there. Whether I like it or not, I'm going to be there. So that's part of the whole thing is I got to go up to Fort Collins on Saturday. So.
I mean, I'll look here. Right. I'll go look to see if there's any libraries up there.
Yep.
Ryan, do you know of any libraries near you?
There is a library near me, but I don't know what amenities it has. There's the Firestone Library. I just discovered it like a week or two ago.
Well, there's one in Longmont
Library. So I'm looking at the Longmont Library right now. Let's see if there's. They're closed tomorrow, but Saturday. Looks like they're open Saturday. Let's see if they got meeting rooms. See, I don't know whether Longmont's library's got.
What, the Longmont Library?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's very easy to get to.
Yeah, it's just a little north of you, but yeah.
No, it's a straight shot down But it's not as difficult as you think. I pass by it quite a bit.
About the library and services.
It's actually a really nice library. It used to have a model train set up in the front lobby.
Oh yeah.
You can schedule a birthday party.
Yeah, but here's like the reservation for it. Like they've got two rooms, and let's see what Saturday looks like. It looks like 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. is available on both rooms. So we could meet there at like 1 and go to like 4.
Where are you finding these rooms?
I just
Hey, Dinosaur Man.
Did we just pick up somebody?
Yeah.
Oh. Hey, me. Do I recognize the me?
And they're free.
Yeah, don't hide.
You can't actually load it. Well, welcome, silly dinosaur man. Loveland. Yeah, the rooms are free. That's actually what I was in there checking. Because we could be there until like 3 or 4. That would give us. Oh, we can only do 100 or 120 minutes, so we can reserve 1, 2. We can do 1 to 3. That's enough to at least get one preliminary show figured out. Because we'd have to figure out how to. You know how it's going to be. We'll get there and they'll be like, ooh. So, I mean, is there a Loveland library, do you think? I'm going to go on ahead and do this. Are you okay with this one, Can?
Sure.
I don't want to do this by myself. Turn off the stream, please. Why in the world do you...
I had no idea. But yeah, go ahead and reserve it.
Okay. I'll go ahead and reserve it, and then if you can make this... I know, I'm like, why would we clear the streams? We haven't crossed the streams.
All right, so Saturday, we're making a video.
Yep.
All right, I'll be there. I'll bring my iPad and everything. What else do I need to bring?
Okay. We're good. I'll have to figure out how to make it work, but it should be fine. All right.
That's exciting.
There we go. So this will be, we'll start banking up. Yeah, we're making a video.
Which one did I say that's exciting?
But what I'll probably do is get multiple people on here. It means we cross the streams. So maybe what I will do is, Pepper, if you're going to make it, which you may or may not, we'll have to see. And I'm okay if you can't. But Pepper and Can, if you guys would be wanting to do a watercolor show, we could.
Definitely.
Because then I'll bring my watercolors and stuff like that. Because I could use some how to do stupid watercolors because I never do it right. It's still not snowing. That's at least, yeah. But yeah, I mean, if we did that, then maybe we could do some, help Guy do good watercolors stuff, and I'll just prep for the weekend if you are open to it. So that would be cool. And then you can either watercolor with us, David, or you can iPad with us, and that would also be acceptable.
Cool.
Either one works. And then
you can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. But if your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance,
it's not going to be a big problem. So.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you guys sometime during the weekend and get all concrete out.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
In the meantime, I think I am at midnight, so we're going to clear the show, and we'll be back. I will either be here tomorrow morning or not, depending on whether I'm out taking pictures of a house.
Good night, guys.
So, good night, David. So I'll see you all later.
All right. Catch you later.
Always, keep your eyes on the stars. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.